it seems like you and your sister have a special bond.
Yeah.
I mean, how similar and how different are you two?
We're very different.
Very different, huh?
Yeah.
How so?
I usually say, even though we share similarities.
Okay.
But I think we have some of us, well, between us two, one could have more or less of. So I think when I talk about personality, the analogy that I use is, I don't know, Sierra, what would you say? I feel like, because I am sunshine, but I am also night, right? So I feel like my sister's sunshine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like.
So what does that mean? I'm sure y'all both know what that means.
Yeah. I think, what I mean by that is, okay, my sister's very traditional.
Okay.
I have, I can be traditional with certain things, but I consider myself almost like the black sheep of the family. Like I push the envelope a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I kind of go by the beat of what do you call it?
Beat of your drum?
The beat of my own drum. Where I think my sister just kind of finds comfort in tradition. Whereas me, I'm like, I love tradition. I think it's cool, but I ask questions. Do you know what I mean?
I got another question for you about that.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just like, why are we doing this? Why do we have to do this? Who says we have to do that? So I feel like I'm very different, or we're very different in that way, even with our parenting styles. Like she's very traditional, whereas I'm a little like softer when it came to, like, my son was still sleeping in, my bed until he was 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, when he's ready to get rid of the bottle, he'll let me know.
So you give them more freedom to grow as they naturally do.
Yeah, and I think I'm that way as a person. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying she's narrow-minded at all. I'm just saying I have a very broad perspective on certain things, and she's very comfortable with familiarity. Is that the word? In certain things. I'm not speaking for her, in any kind of way, but I think that's how we're different.
But at the same time, you said you're structured.
Very much so.
Really?
You know what I mean? I think just because of our upbringing, and like I said, there are certain things that I value with tradition, you know, because there is structure to tradition, and there is a sense of comfort with, tradition and way of thinking and the way of life. But I tend to push the envelope a little more. I'm like the black sheep of the family. It was hard at first, but I'm here to break generational curses. And I feel I feel like I am the bulldozer of the family, meaning I'm the one that's, knocking things down. Yeah. And then my sister's like, oh, okay. All right, so she made room for us.
You cleared the path.
I cleared the path.
Yeah.
It's all right. It doesn't seem that scary, but I'm the one that's taking the leap, should I say.
Okay.
So I feel like that's like the biggest difference that we have with us.
So where have you taken a leap where have you taken a leap where she probably wouldn't have?
Ooh, Lord God, I don't know.
A lot of different ways?
I will touch briefly on that.
Okay.
I think religion.
That was my next question.
Okay, yeah. I think where I am really into learning about other cultures and learning about different religions. I think she's very comfortable and content with where she is, where I'm like, I'm exploring, I'm like, this may work for the family, but this is not necessarily working for me. And that's a part of living my authentic truth. That works for you, but it's not working for me. So I'm on this journey. And so there are things about Catholicism that I love. There are things about Buddhism that I love. There are things about Christianity that I love. There are things about Judaism that I love. And I'm just tapping in and asking questions and learning more about a different way or approach of spirituality.
So you wouldn't say you'd have a specific religion, you're more spiritual?
I'm definitely more spiritual. Yeah, I'm like hiding my crystals from my family.
Not your crystals.
Let's just say that. When they come into the house, I'm like, let me hide them somewhere.
Could you guess where I'm at with it?
Where can I guess where you are with my?
In terms of religion.
Can I guess?
Yeah, where
with
I'm
you?
at, yeah.
Maybe on the same journey.
Yeah.
Okay,
Most
cool.
people think that I'm Christian though.
Oh, okay.
But I'm very spiritual.
Yeah, I don't see.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can see that you're
awesome.
very spiritual. Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up with a lot of religion around me.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of great in all types of religions.
Of course.
But for me to just choose one, I think it's almost discounting the other ones.
Of course. Oh my gosh. Yes, what you just said. That's I was in Italy for school, and I went to the Vatican, and I saw all of these people, gather around, and I was like, who am I to say that what they're doing is wrong, and then what I'm doing is better than or right? Yeah. And so that was my aha moment. And I was like,
Yeah. And so I don't want to get on other people, but I do think people are afraid to say that they have more questions, and rather than having something say, this is it, they're afraid to be wrong.
Yeah. Or exiled from their family.
Or that too. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So.
But I think if you're able to, ask more. Have you heard of Alan Watts?
Alan Watts, no.
He's a British philosopher.
Oh no.
He's got a book called The Wisdom of Insecurity.
Ooh.
I got to put you onto that.
Send
it
my
to
memory.
Is it short term?
Short term, yeah. Who was that?
But yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
But basically that book, and he's heavily into Buddhism.
Okay.
But he talks about all types of religions in it. But you leave that book asking more questions, but more of the right questions.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I think it's he's a good.
Okay,
listen.
I would love to.